Welcome to the HuntFishTravel Podcast. I am your hostess, Carrie Zilka. It's day 2 of my South Dakota turkey hunt. Today was scouting day. And it rained on me pretty much all day. It was great. It was so great. Really wish I had bought some rain gear. I don't own any rain gear. Probably not. Because I hunt in snow. And usually you don't get the soaking wet rain. Yeah, it's great. It's been an interesting day trying to figure out where the heck I'm going to be going. Because, like I said, I did some kind of pre-scouting. It's hard when you look on a map and you look on a Google map and you're like, yeah, that looks like a great place to hunt. And then you get there and it's just a pile of shit. There's nothing but, scrub brush and water puddles and it's just garbage. Anyway, the maps that the South Dakota DNR has is actually pretty interactive. They're really well constructed. I think that, though, being from Wisconsin, I'm pretty spoiled because we have downloadable PDF maps that show parking spots, access points. It pretty much lays it all out for you. I could not find any of that for South Dakota. I downloaded a whole bunch of stuff. Oh my God. And trying to download this stuff as I'm driving with internet service going in and out, and it was ridiculous. So I ended up going back to the hotel room. I know. I should have had this done before time, but whatever. I didn't. I thought I did, but I didn't. I thought I had a bunch of stuff saved on my phone, and I did not. So I went and checked out a couple of spots and then ended up coming back to the hotel where they had the Wi-Fi so that I could try and download, I don't know, and that was a cluster too because, so you go on the website and it's like, download this app, the Avenza Maps app. So I download it and I'm looking through and I'm trying to figure out how you have to purchase maps or whatever and import them. And I'm like, oh, I'm not buying no damn map. But I guess South Dakota for public hunting has a free one that you can download. I don't know. It took me forever to figure that out. I don't know what my problem was today. But then the website has some Google Earth files and all this stuff, and I couldn't get it to download on my phone, so then I fire up my laptop. I'm waiting for that to fire up because of course it hasn't been on for 2 days. Oh my gosh, trying to download this and then the file isn't working. I was just like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. And I mean, you're in another state, a state that you don't hunt very often. The last thing I want to do is get a ticket or get shot because I'm trespassing or something. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Especially not on the first day, for goodness sakes. So I finally did figure out where the heck I'm going. And it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of public hunting land in the Black Hills area, but you just have to be careful of private land. And of course, that's what I was worried about. And I know people are like, oh, it's the wild, wild west. If it's not posted, it's fair game. I don't know about you, but I'd prefer not to test that theory, especially 1,000 miles away from home, where I can't call somebody and be like, so I totally just got shot. Can you pick me up from the hospital? So I think I found a really nice spot. There was a lot of turkey sign. I think I found a roost tree. I'm not positive. It looked like it might have been old sign, but I guess we'll find out in the morning if sunrise comes and I hear nada. Because it's not like you can miss the turkeys coming out. If you haven't, for the listener who has never been turkey hunting, those mamma jammas sound like people are chucking boulders into the brush in the morning when they come out of their tree. They are so noisy. They're not graceful. They just leap off the branch and attempt to land without, breaking a neck. Oh my gosh. It's pretty damn amusing if you're close enough to watch. But God, are they noisy. So I'll know pretty quickly if I chose a good spot or not. I hope so. I found an old logging road and I followed it back. And okay, so this is kind of ironic. So I bought a Garmin GPS after getting lost in South Dakota a couple years ago. That next day I went out and I bought a Garmin. It wasn't a very expensive one. It was I don't know, $100 or $200. It couldn't have been more than $200. So I'm all proud of myself. I've yet to use it. I set it up the day before I left. And so today I go to tramp around and I'm like, oh, this looks like a really great place to set up. Let me mark it on my GPS. And I pull it out and I turn it on and the low battery thing is flashing at me. And I'm like, well, that's weird because I literally replaced the batteries on Wednesday. It's Sunday. So I'm typing in my waypoint title, and the freaking thing dies on me. And I'm just like, it's just rather ironic that the last time I got lost out in the wilderness, it was because the battery on my phone died, and I was using that as GPS. Sure is a good thing I wasn't actually relying on this one to, not be lost in the wilderness tonight, because literally the same thing. I mean, how does that happen? Who does that happen to? That would be me. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The little button must have been pressed up against something. It must have been on all night or something. I don't know what the reason is, but it was just rather ironic to me. Here I am in South Dakota again with a GPS unit that I bought specifically to prevent a repeat of the last South Dakota trip. And the batteries died. What the hell? South Dakota sure is. Just out scouting, it's just so different from Wisconsin. Everything with the shale rock and everything in the mountains and there's so many down trees. I don't know how to explain it. Everything's so brown and gray compared to where we are. It's just such a different contrast. It's absolutely gorgeous out here. It's harsh and it's barren and it's just stunning. And I love it out here. I really do. I really think it's just a gorgeous state. And the Black Hills are phenomenal. Last night I drove out to the Badlands National Park to see if I could grab some sunset pictures. And that was pretty cool. I'd never been to the Badlands. Third trip out here, finally made it to the Badlands. They were smaller than I thought they would be. I gotta be honest. You see these grandiose photos and you're like, oh. I guess maybe because the outlook, you could see it all. It just looks smaller. I mean, obviously, things are a lot bigger than they appear, but it just, I don't know, for some reason I thought it would be bigger. But the sunset was really pretty. It wasn't as spectacular as Maui or something like that. I guess you don't have the ocean to reflect, but there was some pretty clouds and it was very interesting. I did some hyperlapse, some time-lapse stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. And I think I got some pretty decent sunset photos. I'll have to post some up because I love sunset photos. Who doesn't love sunset photos? Everybody in the world loves sunset photos. And the Badlands are just so neat with the intricate geological formations. It's pretty cool. And as a bonus, it's springtime. Everybody's having babies. Oh my gosh, so funny. So I walk up into the park and I'm checking out to see where I want to set up. Here are these two freaking hens clucking away. And I probably got within 30 yards of them. I just was like, well, there's my omen. Probably the only two turkeys I'm going to see this whole trip. So later, there is a path that goes up. So there's this huge ridge line and these big mountains. And there was one that a path kind of goes past. And this couple's walking. And all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, these two hens go flying up the side of this damn mountain and go chasing this couple. They must have had a nest or something there, protecting the poults. Oh my God, it was the funniest shit ever. That woman, I never heard somebody scream like a B horror movie in all my life. And that guy was like, whoa. Oh my God, it was so funny. These turkeys were like, get away from our nests. It was hysterical. So then we saw sheep, which was pretty cool. A little sheep came up. Oh my gosh, and there's a little baby. I took the best photos. And that little guy, everybody was holding their breath because they thought he was going to go plummeting to his death because he was just jumping around and bounding around like a little maniac. I mean, they don't care. I'm pretty sure that he knew what he was doing more than we knew what we were doing. But it was really cool to see the wildlife and then to see the sunset and the Badlands. If you ever get out to South Dakota, out to the Black Hills, definitely make a stop. I highly recommend it, even if it's just for an hour to see the sunset. So that was my night last night. But today, like I said, I spent most of the day scouting, just checking out some different places. I did a lot of driving. I thought maybe I'd be able to use my binoculars and do some glassing from the truck, but everything is so thick and there's so many hills and valleys and it's just impossible. I just had to get out of the truck. I had to, not be lazy. Get out of the truck and tramp around and see what I could find. And while I didn't hear or see any actual turkeys, I found a lot of sign. Oh my God, you know what else? You know what else I found a lot of sign of is freaking mule deer, or maybe whitetail, but I'm pretty sure they're mule deer. Everywhere. I took some photos. There was this cattle, I don't know, field with a bunch of cattle in it. There must have been 25 freaking mule deer in that field with them, just grazing, just hanging out. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They're just chilling, chomping away. That was pretty cool to see. But man, is there the mule deer sign everywhere. Or just regular deer. I don't know. Lots of scat piles and just tons of sign. Which is pretty cool. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back out this way again. Maybe I'll chase mule deer again. And I won't get lost this time. Because Carrie's smarter than last time. Even though her GPS died on her today. That was great. But whatever. I brought a pack of batteries along. You know, just random AAA and AA's for stuff that might need it. Whatever. My Bluetooth speaker. Whatever. Like, you know, the essentials. Apparently GPS units. So tomorrow is a new day. I'm going to be getting up at about 3:45. God. The worst part about turkey hunting is getting up at the ass crack of dawn. I mean, you got to get up so damn early. But it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it the minute I hear that gobble. The minute I hear that gobble and I'm like, oh yeah, see? That's the bomb right there. And the forest just comes alive and it'll be just amazing. So, that's it. That's all I got for you today. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be reporting in with a gobbler on the ground. Once again, you can find me on Twitter at CarrieZylka, CarrieZylka. You can find Hunt Fish Travel on Facebook. If this is the first time you're listening to the Hunt Fish Travel Podcast, I encourage you to find me on iTunes or Stitcher Radio or Podkicker if you are an Android user. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast because there's lots more coming up.